I noticed they use Castle nuts. You can't get the stainless with Castle. I imagine you can, but he doesn't have them. And all they do there are nuts and bolts. So he didn't have them, so he said, "I just use a washer." Yeah, that works too. This saves GM money. This doesn't save Craig money. So we'll grab a ratchet, and a socket, I should say, and an extension. Put those in place. And the little size they are, good guess. On that motor, I had a stud down here. I don't know why, so that's what I left there. I am going to start on the bottom, and I am going to use the Yicky one on the bottom, because you can't see it. You have the possibility of seeing the top one before you see that bottom one, so. That in there first. Stick it on behind the balancer, and put the bolt in. Maybe not. It doesn't want to go over the hump over here. I'm in the wrong hole. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. It's the top one. There's two holes on the block over here. On this side, you go to the top hole, not the bottom. And my socket's in the way. Figures. And ta-da! See anything because it's out dark. So we are running into some interference. Down here, the thickness of the powder coat is catching a little. There's a nub right here on the end that's got to come off. Otherwise, it's almost there. How rude. Let me pull this bolt back off again. Let's try going to the top first. Up and down deeper. Those are my two long ones. 10. No. No. That's the AC. Get to play the what's what game. The longer one. So the short one goes down here, the long ones go up here. And it might be a bit too long. Because she hits. Oh, there she goes. That doesn't feel good at all. One. Yep. Let's see if we have her. Yeah, no metric mark on that one. There's only this one. That's the fun part. Let's figure out which bolt this is. Okay, did not get this bolt. Easy enough. Put this in here. grab our socket. Let's get it mounted on this side first. Just to the upper bolt. Very snug fit. Cannot use that bolt there still with this setup. Notch it just a pinch to get it in there. It's off by about a half an inch, which is a shame. But it is what it is, so we kind of work with what we got. Notice I'm not using any ear tools because I don't want to draw any threads or mess anything up. Last thing I want to do is mess stuff up on the last part, and right there's the depth of the bolt. And it is fighting me. So yeah, I am going to have to knock that off of that casting flash off of the belt mount. It is binding. And that's what you get with stuff like this, is you're always going to have powder coat's thick, same as chrome. They're both going to do the same thing. They're going to make you clean off the casting flash. So good idea to test fit your stuff. Like I said, this one goes on this way. It is the one that uses the smaller bolts, all three of them, 1, 2, and 3. So we can get rid of that big one for right now and look at the small ones. This one, oh, it was junkyard. There it goes. It's out. No, it's not completely out. Popped out there. Like I said, he was good enough to tape them off for me. Always good. Always good. I thought I was going to have to tap them when I got them back, but no go there. There you go. I need to do that, the whole thing. Once again, top bolt, there are 2 of them there. Go to your top bolt. Just putting it in far enough to hold it so that I can move things. And let's see how we line up here. A and B both line up. Perfect. This one, I get behind it to put the bolts in. So leave them loose because there is a little bit of flash from the powder coat. This one's fighting me naturally. Might have to go get some shorter ones just in case. I'm not sure how deep these they are in the aluminum head. That does not feel good. It feels like it wants to bind right off the bat. Do not like that. So I'm gonna pull it out, swing it away, and check my bolts. Make sure that they are correct for the head. See, that one feels dirty. Does not feel good at all. Because the blocks American on the old bolts. But like I said, these are buried way in the back, so you can't see them anyway, so it's not a big deal. But like this particular one I'm putting in now is behind the power steering pump, so you don't even see it. Don't like forcing into a open. I don't mind steel, but not getting them. Yeah, its tolerances are so tight with this powder coat on here that it's being difficult. There we go. Let's take that off. Set it over there. Back this one off a little bit. While we hold it. Alright. And start tightening her out. There she goes. As she should. Once again, don't tighten all the way. Leave a lot of slop in it. Like I said, probably gonna have to get the die grinder out and clean up the mounting holes because they are off. Here is hole number 2. Check it. No, that's metric. American. American. Should have done a better job when I went to the powder coat, or went to the bolt place and had him get me separated out my bolts, American and metric, so that I knew the difference between the two of them. But it happens. This one wants to sink back into the socket and get a short one. Go through the hole so I can see it on the other side. There she is. Oop. That's 2 of them in. Now for number 3 down there at the bottom. And like I say, leave them loose so that you can see the bolts line up. It is just a pin off. There she goes. And it wants to fight, boy, it wants to fight. It's just, like I said, just all of it is just millimeters off, which is the powder coating. The powder coating has definitely tightened up all your holes, so take some time before you put it all together, which I will here after I trial fit everything and clean out those holes a little bit more. This one, she's going, but she's fighting all the way. Not hard, not enough where it feels like it's stripping, but it is tight. You can hear it make a noise going through it, then you know. There you go, 1 serpentine setup. I'm going to change camera angles so that you guys can kind of see the front while I'm working on it, instead of just seeing this, but definitely show you a few things while I'm doing it. So I'll set this here for now. We'll move our camera. Hang tight, everybody. We're going to freak the dogs out. Stay. Stay. And I'm going to check my angle. There we go. So you can kind of see a little bit better. Where are you going, Bandit? You don't need to go nowhere. On this setup, I have to take the pulley off your power steering because these 3 bolts are what mount to this. So this kind of sits back here like so. Remember how I was talking about you don't see the mount, you don't see the pump. Once the pulley's on there, you won't see anything because it's going to hide it all. But that kind of shows you where that's at. That out of there. Like I said, I have to switch this pump for the early model with the keyway. And last but not least is your more modern alternator. They make this bad boy in chrome now, so eventually I will be getting that one. But she sits right in here. And there's once again some slag on all the mounts. So yeah, it's going to have to be cleaned. Because this should slide right down in place. This collar actually moves. So I'm betting when he powder coated it, I did not take the collar out. So I am going to have to beat this back and forth until it gives the room that it needs. There's a collar over here, but she's already up against the end. And then if you can't see it, but there's some slag right here on the edge that needs to be ground off. So we'll get that taken care of too. I could use this pulley setup on there, but I would have to cut this off. Take it to a lathe and just get it cut off. Don't really want to do that. I'd rather just sell this to somebody who does want it and then get the proper pulley. You'll notice that the pulley size is a little bit less. This one's smaller, so it's going to spin faster. The old one was huge, probably 8 inches, something like that. It was big. So definitely this will make a big difference. But yeah, she fits on there pretty good. The other one, like I said, I've got to clean some. There's a lot of casting flash that's making everything difficult and not want to play together. But so far so good. These two line up perfectly. When I did do the other one, the old pulley on the Nova's old motor, the pulleys didn't fit down all the way on them. Like this one fits right on the harmonic balancer. There was garbage and stuff built up on that pulley, or it was just a pinch off. And because of that, I had to take my die grinder and grind a little bit out of the interior of the pulley to get it to mount on. The problem with that is I didn't have a lathe when I did it. Should have probably done it with the help of my friend and had him cut it out. But because of that, it wobbled just a tiny bit. You couldn't see it, but you knew it was wobbling by looking at it. But it was just so real slight. Well, when I took everything apart off of the motor, I noticed all this rubber dust on my water pump and all the other parts. So it was wearing that belt prematurely when it shouldn't have. And also when I took the belt off, one edge of it, if you can see it, was feathering out. So it was catching something wrong, and then it would feather out and then be good, and then feather out and then be good. And you could hear it actually doing that on the car, but I knew I was changing out anyway. So it didn't matter. I just had this on there for the time being. This belt will be way shorter than that one anyway. But yeah, it just kind of gives you an idea of what's going on. Like I said, this bolt back here is not one of the pretty ones. So I will change this to a pretty one. Because this one you can actually see when you look at the motor sideways. You'll be able to see this one bolt. The bolt down here in the bottom, you can't see it at all. It is buried up and under. So you've got a lot of options here. But for now, I need to deal with this sleeve. Yeah, it's got a lot of buildup on it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that off or not. I don't think I have a small round file like that. I'm probably going to have to drill it. became part of it. The old, heard about it, flathead screwdriver. And see if I can't get it to pinch. Please break loose. Y'all who build cars, you know, like I do, nothing ever works right. And this is just one of those little inconsistencies you get with powder coating and chrome plating. Which more doesn't, oh, it doesn't need that much. Moving it. You can see it flaking off too. Taking off the powder coat with it, so that's working. Oh yeah, you can see the build up here. You're done there, Bandit. That's fine, I start doing this got all the build up. Open it up. Well, I just hit the pulley. Or I should say, just hit the alternator. Lay down. Down. Lay down. on your alternator to make things work. Like I said, this one's getting replaced. I have two of these. This is the low volt one. I've got one that does 140 amps. This side's lined up good. This side needs a little bit more down. This side of it looks real good. This side's got some junk built up on it too, so. Oh, we're almost there. Where are you at? There you are. This side's got some built up on it too. Yeah, I'm just gonna smack it with the ratchet. It's like, okay, folks. Yes. Yeah, he said he put tape on it, but you're always gonna get some good material on it.